Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. I see my intro music is not quite right. Hello, and welcome to the Astral Traveler with me, Reta. It's been a while, but I'm back. I'm sorry for the abrupt departure. Something was wrong with my, oh, there goes my dog. Something was wrong with my phone lines and my internet for like 5 months. So every time I try to dial, I would hear a strong buzzing noise, or anytime I would try to use my internet, I just had no connection. So it's been a while, and I missed you guys so much. And a lot of different things have been happening, and I want to catch you guys up, and I want to catch up to everybody. Um, Tonight's call-in number is 347-996-5515. Again, 347-996-5515. And I would love anybody to call in, whether you want to share your experiences or have any suggestions of what you want to talk to. Since I've been going, I've been meaning to say thank you to Teresa, who's a friend on the Friends of Freeman. Many of you may know her. She sent me a beautiful, beautiful note and a beautiful paper in her work to make oracle cards. So they were so beautiful, and I want to give a heartfelt thank you to Teresa. I really appreciated it. It brightened up my day when I received it. Also, my good friend Her Guy, where you guys may know him from New Moon Soap Company. If you want to, he sent me, well, really my daughter, some beautiful soap for her skin. And he's at www.newmoonsoapco.com. Again, www.newmoonsoapco.com. So, support. He does beautiful, beautiful work. All his tinctures and stuff are made from hand, and his soaps and his herbs. So, again, I just wanted to say I'm glad to be back, and many things have changed. It kind of, like I said, we abruptly left. If you notice my last two shows, you could kind of see some of the problems we were having with my audio. Where I was conducting an interview with George, and George Labono, who was excellent, from Alien Mind, and I had to actually try to call into the show. It took me about 20 minutes to even get on the show. And before that interview, I had one with Andrew Gal, and that was a trying interview because of the phone and internet connection. So hopefully we won't have those problems anymore. Verizon assured me that they replaced my wires for up to a mile long. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And I'm sharing it with my wonderful friends out there in cyber world, far and wide. I want to say I'm glad to share it with you. So the last few things that I've been going through, I think when my phone went off, it was at the same time that I was going through some changes myself in between these sun flares and the emotions on the planet. I'm very sensitive to different energies and stuff, and sometimes I can get overwhelmed and have all the energies out there plus your own with my mother, the death of my mother, and some other things. So my energy really wasn't that high, so to say. So I think Source and my higher self kind of intervened with this Verizon phone wire not working. We all have these days and I was even Jay, Free Energy Jay, who's a wonderful friend of mine, he couldn't even calm me down. So between the death of my mother and these emails and notes that I was receiving, really, really kind of ticked me off. And most of you guys know I talk straight. I don't bull crap. And when I'm pissed, I'm pissed. And when I feel someone's bullshitting me, I'm going to tell them. I'm not going to bite my tongue. As I say, anything I say on this show pertains to me, Reta. It does not have anything to do with Type 1 radio. They are a wonderful company, and my beliefs aren't their beliefs. So don't say, well, Reta said this and that's type 1's belief. No, my beliefs are my own and type 1 is their own. So whatever I say, do not hold type 1 or any other broadcaster on this network from what I say. And a couple of months ago, I had got abruptly discontinued from a phone call from a fellow show. I'm not going to say what name or whatever. And I didn't get to finish my thought. And people are like, well, it's racial and this and that. First of all, to everybody out there, I am a person of color, of many colors. I have many different races. It doesn't make me. It's a part of me, you know. And some days on my show, I'm going to say things that I feel I need to be said, whether it's racially or not. You know, as a person of color, I'm entitled to say some things, and some things that need to be brought out into the forefront, and some things that need not to be shoveled under the rug. Some things need to be brought up, and if I feel I need to bring them up, I'll bring them up, you know. So, and I'm not talking just a white or black thing, because I'm composed of many different races, and my family is many different races. So when I say mostly I talk about, I don't talk about, I call most people melanated people. You know, the more melanated you are, the darker you are, the less, you know. So I usually call people melanated people. But there was a big discussion about Enochian magic. And I feel, it's my opinion from my research and my own experiences and things that I've talked to other metaphysics of color, I don't really believe Enochian magic is for melanated people. I don't think that the energy from that magic is a good energy. Like I say, magic isn't good or bad, is what you do with this magic. But Enochian magic is more, you can, without even realizing, you can have little entities visit you that you don't want to visit. So with any magic, take care. You may disagree, you may not. That's up to you. But I feel, you know, in Enochian magic, yeah, learn about it. Educate yourself about everything. And just, you know, do what resonates with you. Enochian magic for me doesn't resonate for me. My energy and my psychic beliefs it's not really a magic for any melanated person to do. But that's up to you to make your choice. Like we all say, we all have an opinion. But that was just, I got sidetracked one day on a call of that, and that's what I was trying to explain. No white people or black people. As a person of color, I wasn't saying it like that. I was saying melanated people with anybody, even white people or Caucasian people have melanated skin. So I was just saying people who have melanated, that's not really a magic you should want to, you know, do. You can do if you want to. If you don't, so be it. That's just my opinion. And then also, I mean, from that one interview, I got so many emails, good and bad, and some kind of threatful, some not. But as I say, I am here on a mission. I feel like I was born and bred for this mission. I have a heart of a warrior. I've been a warrior most of my life, and that's just part of the training tool inside me. So that's all I have to say about that. Also, when I was in this really weird space in the last few months, I got a hold of this YouTube site, and it's a fellow practitioner and a fellow witch, and her name was Jacqueline Dubois, and her YouTube is One Moon Mother. Again, her YouTube is One Moon Mother, and you can find her on Facebook as Jacqueline Dubois. And this lady, her energy and her spirituality is so beautiful. She has so much love, and if I can take anything from her, you know, I would love to have this openness that she has. And she's just like, she's not an old woman, but she's an older woman, and she has a heart of an innocent. Her heart is just so innocent, and you can feel the love and the knowledge that she shares with all her information. She has like maybe 200 videos on her channel, and it goes in between herbs, teaching people herbs, nature walks with herbs. She also talks about goddesses and love and her monastery and her beliefs and the tarot and magic and rituals. And I just suggest everybody, really to check out Jacqueline's YouTube page. And I want to thank her because she really touched me when I needed it the most. The last few months have been a tough month with a lot of the changes I was going through, and this little lady I've never met on YouTube really, really struck a chord in me, and she really started having me think about things in a different way, and I want to thank her. So thank you, Jacqueline Dubois, and I hope one day I can even have her on the show as an interview. She is just an awesome, knowledgeable lady, and I would be honored to have her on this show. So let's see. I'm trying to see what we can talk about today. I'm trying to let Source and spirituality just flow with me. I'm in my altar room to the goddess and the gods, and I'm surrounded by crystals right now. So I'm just going to let spirit move through me and see what we come up with. Many of you guys can reach me on Facebook at Reta Ware, RETTA, or Twitter under the same thing, or the Friendship Agenda under the same name, Reta Ware. Or you can email me at retaware@gmail.com. Again, retaware@gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing from everybody, good, bad, or indifference. I look forward, and I've missed every single one of you guys. What I've been reading lately this month, if anybody's interested, I was reading the Tarot Reader's Workbook, A Comprehensive Guide, from Beginner to Master by Sandy Anastasia. It's an excellent book. I love the tarot as a form of divination. I really enjoy it. I collect tarot cards. I think they're so beautiful. And I like reading books on the tarot. Whether you're a new beginner to it or an expert, learning the tarot is wonderful. You can use it every day and talk to your spirit guides, your higher self, and really, pull some cards every day, and it will tell you what you need to work on or what obstacles you might have that day. And even for those who practice magic, they're very good to practice your magic with as a visual vocal point. And these cards, they're an extension of yourself. You create, it's a weird relationship that you seem to have with your cards, but they become an extension of you. So I love reading about the tarot. So if anybody else is interested in reading that book, let me know. Again, you guys can call me at 347-996-5515. Excuse me today because it's just me manning the whole program today. It's my first time, so I'm kind of scared, but I'm getting it done. So I just miss everybody, and I want to take a quick break. Hopefully I can figure out how to use this. I wanted my music to come in, but it was kind of strange sounding. So let's see how this is. I'm going to take a quick break.
as it tore through them, and now it's left me blind. The stars and moon, they have all been blown out. You left me in the dark. No door, no day, I'm always in this twilight, in the shadows of your heart. And in the dark, I can hear your heartbeat. I try to find the sound, but then it's up, and I was in the darkness, so darkness I became. The stars and moon, they have all been blown out. You left me in the dark.
Hello, everybody. I'm back. I just need to take a couple of seconds. I haven't been online in so long, and just wanted to reorient myself. There's somebody on hold. I'm not sure if they want to call in or if they're just listening. So let's find out. Hello,
Hi,
caller 323. Hi, who am I speaking to?
Sophia.
Hi, Sophia. How are you today?
I'm good. I have a two-part question.
No problem. Go at it.
So I think I tuned into the right show because there's someone in my life that you're talking about energy and you're talking about psychic energy and how do you, okay, so like when you know someone's energetically in your space and so and most of it is okay, and then I made a declaration to him. I made a decision to stop the energy because I felt like if it wasn't, it was a romantic energy that I was feeling from this person, and it felt nice.
And it was unwanted?
No, it was fine. It was perfectly fine. I actually enjoyed it. I felt like I knew we have a connection, but I figured that I didn't want it to continue to go on that way unless I was going to have a physical connection with this person.
Okay.
So I just kind of decided to stop it because it's like I don't want to have an ethereal relationship. I really want to have a real relationship.
Oh, so you had a psychic link with this person, or?
Oh yeah, huge.
Is this? And have you met this person? Did you meet them
online,
or
before? No. Before I had the experience, I met the person. I had an astral experience, like a remote viewing experience, and this person came up energetically, and then I met the person. So then I was able to...
Oh, so how did they...
Huh?
Well, let's backtrack.
Okay.
I'm going to break this down. So you had a interaction astrally. Explain that to me and tell me about that first.
Okay, so one night, me and my friend were like, it was more of a remote, I guess, astral remote. I guess it felt the same. It was about, we start asking myself questions about the man that's supposed to be in my life. And then
have you ever remote viewed? Or have you ever asked?
Kind of.
Okay.
I kind of remote viewed, yeah.
Oh, okay, finish. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
That's okay. So then I got like a download of different type of things about this human being that was coming into my life, and an energy and an imprint of an energy that, you know, that I would recognize maybe. So then I met the person maybe about a year and a half ago, and I didn't know right away that was possibly what it could be. I just figured I felt this energy. It felt really familiar, but I didn't know what it was. And then as I start to get to know the person, this energy starts to increase, and I start to see this person popping up in places in my life, and now I feel the energy before this person would physically even show up. I would see him at a place, and he'd be like, he's there. And then, and so then I would start to pick up on this other connection, this romantic connection, this energy that I would feel. Like I would have dreams about this person. And then, it felt nice and it felt fine, but I felt like I just got to a point where it was like, I know what I want. I know I want the man, the physical man, with that connection. And if he wasn't willing to step up, then I was going to stop, So I wanted to know, is someone like this, are they aware of it, or is their high self communicating to me? Or, because he's a powerful person.
He's a powerful, is he into any practices? He is a spiritual person.
Very, very. So I don't know, like, how far someone can take. I know he's never crossed a boundary with me, so I know to protect it. But I'm wondering how far can someone like him take it in regards to, like, can he just
invade your space?
Well, I know he can invade my space, but I decided I don't want that to happen, and that hasn't happened since.
Well, first and foremost, we all have free will. Another person cannot impose on you unless you allow them to oppose on you. That's one thing. Secondly, there could be many different reasons why this link is together. Maybe you guys know each other in a past life.
We have.
Since you astral project, you can really go into the Akashic records and figure out what kind of lives you had, if it was good energy or bad energy. Why don't you want a relationship? Is this person not wanting a relationship with you?
I feel like...
Is that what you're saying?
I felt like the person kind of does, or I think the person's on the fence. And I'm not willing... Go on.
Well, first, maybe you need to have a conversation with this person and just lay down your declarations right there and say, this is what I expect, this is what I want. And if that person, therefore, he has free will, he can say yes or no. And then you can, and if you guys can't come to that understanding, then you can end it. There's ways that you can psychically, protect yourself. Like you said, you can make a declaration to yourself that this is your sacred space. Don't cross the line. There's rituals that you can do if you're interested. You can do rituals around your house if you need be, if you feel that his energy is so strong that it's imprinted on you. But you have free will, and you are a very powerful being. We all are. And if this isn't something that you want, then you need to declare this is something that you don't want. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I just...
Do you do tarot or anything like that?
I have. Yeah, I do.
Have you done a tarot reading on yourself? Have you done a reading on yourself?
No.
No.
I don't like reading for myself.
Readings.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, but, there's some things that you can do every day where I use them as a divination to tell me where my energy is that day or what I need to focus on. I kind of try to pull cards every day so I know how that day is going to be or how I need to place that day. But I think, you need to email me. We could discuss this further because I'm not quite understanding the whole situation.
I guess what I'm asking is that when someone has a connection like this and they're picking up with someone else, is it a deliberate, energetic, or is it does it just happen? Do you know what I mean?
It could be either or. That's why I said maybe to look into yourself, where since you say you astral project, you can, view your Akashic records. It could be a man, I mean, not to say that he is, I don't know him. It could be that he's magically connecting you guys. It could be that he knows what he's doing and he's imprinting on you. Or it could be a past agreement that you both have shared. You know, it could be an agreement from past lives and that you guys have this energy and it's been there forever. I mean,
Right.
these are types of things you gotta look into yourself and really, your true self knows the answers to most of these questions. I use
Right.
the tarots sometimes because it will try to, or even, you know, the tarots will kind of tell me, okay, which way I'm going. It could be a lot of things. It could be that this man is using magic on you. You know, I don't like to think people do that, but people do that. You
Right.
know, and if this is good energy or not good energy. If it's making you uneasy, then you know you need to clear yourself and place the line in the sand and say enough is enough. You have power.
Well, yeah.
Energy that's really not. Is it bothering you or no?
No, I'm protected. I'm protected. I have
You're
no problem with that. Yeah, 110%. I just was like, when I was picking up on it, and it was going on for a really long time, which it was fine. I was absolutely excited about it. I was pleased with it. I just figured, I got to a point where I just figured that unless something was going to happen, you know, I thought, like, we know we have this connection. We know we have this spiritual connection. We have this gift of connecting on this level. I figured that if it's not going to transcend on the physical level, because we do know each other, then probably I'm just going to reserve myself.
And see, you know your answer. You're trying to talk yourself out of the answer, but you know the answer. And if you're not, if it's not going to be in this 3D, then it shouldn't be in the astral either. Right. So you have that power to end things, and you have to make a declaration to your mind, to yourself, and maybe you do a magical ritual that imprints it in yourself and it cuts that connection off.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it all. I'm fine with that briefing. I just wanted to know what my real question, like I said, was: is it deliberate or is it something that? And you just said it's kind of both, probably. Sometimes it just happens and it's deliberate. So it's kind of like when you think of someone and then they pop into your head.
Well, how about you email me? Did you get my email, redaware@gmail.com? And email me, and we'll set up a time, and maybe we'll do a card reading and see what's really going on.
Okay. And what is it? Is it Right Aware?
Reta Ware.
Okay.
RETTA.
Okay.
WARE. Yeah. WARE@gmail.com.
Okay.
Thank you for calling in. I hope to hear from you again.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Hello. You're on air. How can I help you?
Hi. I'm just actually listening to the show. This is my first time.
Oh, well, thank you for listening.
You're welcome. I'm really interested in astral travel because lately I've been having a lot of vivid dreams where that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just really trying to get more information about it.
Oh, yeah, good place to come. Do you want to share any of your travel or experiences? Maybe we could talk about it.
Okay. Well, I had one. It looks like I don't know if he was one of my spirit guides, but it looks like I was in another dimension, and he was dressed all in white, and he was riding on a bicycle on the beach talking to me. But I know I was in another dimension because the sky was pink.
The sky was pink.
The sky was pink and purple, and it was daytime.
And do feelings before you got to this dream or this astral project? What feelings were you in before this happened? Did you feel Did you know that you were drifting somewhere, or?
I was actively in the dream with him. Sometimes when I'm having, well, I didn't even know it was astral projection. Sometimes when I'm having other dreams, I'm actually hovering above the area of the dream. But this time I was actively participating in the dream.
Okay, because that's what I'm trying to differentiate, sorry, between if this was an astral or a lucid. Whereas a lucid dream is that you know you're in a dream, but you are controlling everything in that dream. You're actively participating and controlling that dream. Whereas astral, you kind of have that feeling, but you don't really control everything around you. You can control yourself, but you really can't control other people, and you're consciously aware, and you're in another dimension.
Okay,
where you were saying you were floating. Yeah, that's the astral projection most likely. When you're floating and you can look down and see your body or see things from underneath.
Okay. Well, I don't have that many of those. I just noticed that the ones that I'm having, it's like I end up in a different place, and I'm surrounded by people that I know a lot. And it's so weird because it's like I see my grandmother, and she's deceased, and it's like she's giving me visions of certain things that are to come, and they actually come to pass.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot lately.
And you know, this time you're going to have more and more and more people are having these experiences. As 2012, it's not the end of the world. It's the time where we're all going to experience an awareness and a consciousness that we have never. It's the awakening. So more of us, it's not, where everybody's thinking it's an apocalypse. If you're going to think it's the apocalypse of the old, it's not apocalypse of us being no more. It's a new, more people are waking up, and we're going to have more of these dreams. And what I suggest to a lot of these people is to write down these experiences. Every time you have one of these experiences, write it down.
I was also doing some research, and without trying to cut you off, because I'm noticing a pattern with my dreams. When it's either a day or two before I go into this I call it a crazy dream state, because it's taking me to other places, and it's not normal dreams. And I notice I have the very next day after I have these dreams or astral projections, I notice it makes my body react differently. And I was looking up some information, and I think it was called Kundalini rising.
Yes.
And I think that's what's happening with me. And it's like the dreams happen first, then my body reacts funny, and then I got to ground myself.
Yes, grounding yourself, if you ever really need to, take off your shoes and go and walk in Mother Earth, like the grass, lay down, ground yourself. I learned that from Jacqueline, which works perfectly, ground yourself with Mother Earth. But yes, we're all going to have these, and it's because you're in a higher sense. You're increasing your vibrations and your frequency. So after you're having these experiences, you are continuing on that high frequency. And you'll notice that you're kind of buzzing more than the people around you a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's perfectly normal. And, sometimes you can keep yourself buzzing, or if you do need to be grounded, just ground yourself. There's so many books out there, some good books out there. I don't know, have you ever been to the Friendship Agenda or Friends of Freeman?
No, I've never heard of it.
Well, you can contact me at on my email or at Facebook, at Reta on Facebook, and I can give you a couple of suggestions of books to read to really understand what you're going through. And for some people, it's a scary experience. I remember the first time I was outside my body, I was like, what the hell is going on? And especially in my, as being a person of color, my family was like, "Ooh, no, that's the devil riding your back." And, oh, don't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
No, you're
yeah.
just like it really, really scared me. And then I started embracing it, and I finally said, "Let me just go with it." And you'll be amazed. There's so much information out there on the astral. One time when you're out there, go to the Akashic records. Just say in your mind.
I know. That's what I want to do because, and without cutting you off, I'm just getting excited because it's all kind of like it's like pieces of the puzzle are coming together because I found out through meditating and going out in nature, my Kundalini rising is bringing out all this awareness in me. I found out that I have spiritual gifts. I've been doing crystal therapy.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've been really, really working on myself. But it seems, to be honest with you, I'm going to give you an honest statement. The things that are happening with me, I have to do it because if I don't, I'm going to be like a live wire. I need something to place these energies. And because I've been meditating, it's causing a lot of awareness and awakening within me. So the dreams
It's
are
funny
coming.
how it's like a light switch that just goes on, and all of a sudden you're like, where the hell did this all come from? It's like a new world, and it's beautiful. You should be excited, and you need to use these energies. That lady that I talked about earlier, Jacqueline Dubois on Moon Mother, she calls herself a witch. She's a good witch, but she has I would really think that you would enjoy watching her videos. She's just a regular person like me and you, and she decided she's been into this, herb medicine and herbs and nature and the energies for years and years. And she talks about it honestly, and she gives so much information and gives so much of herself. And her YouTube page is One Moon Mother. When I give suggestions to different things, it's because I really, really, really enjoy these people. I really feel that these people have a gift. And we all have gifts. And, all of us are not a master. We're all here learning. And it's our job to learn from each and every one of us. And the info, so much is given right now. So many people are given so much of themselves, spiritually, emotionally, everything. And I believe Jacqueline Dubois, she's one of those ladies. And she really tells you how to ground yourself and in the crystals. And this is more and more we're going to do this. And you're going to see yourself, this is times where it's the quickening. If you notice, you're vibrating quick. The days are going by like crazy. One day it's the morning. Next time you look around, it's midnight.
Right.
And the more you astral project, you'll notice the more that you have these experiences, the more psychic you'll become. And that's why I did this show, is because I'm trying, all the things that happened to me, I'm trying to help people to avoid what happened to me. I didn't know. I had all these different energies psychically. And because the more you project, the more you get in tune and you become more psychic to everything. And all these energies were coming at me from everywhere on top of my own energies. And I really, I was losing my mind for a minute because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I felt like I was like jumping in my own skin, and I couldn't figure out how to level myself out. And meditation is excellent, and my friend Jay helped me out a lot. But yeah, go and what to your higher self telling you. You said go out in nature. That's perfect.
Right.
The sun at this time, unbeknownst to what they're saying out there, it's an energy source, and it's feeding us, waking us up. And that's why they call it Father, Son, Mother Earth. And the Mother Earth, we're her children. We're on her womb. And just going outside barefoot and just walking around with nature, or even doing a little garden for yourself. Could be a couple of things, a couple of plants, whatever. Just do helps ground you. And this is a perfect time to start learning the tarot. This is a perfect time to start, like you said, crystals and pendulums and
Now I have the Doreen Virtue angel cards, tarot cards. Are those good as well?
They're good. You kind of use some of those for like oracles. What I suggest when people are starting to just start learning tarot is to use the basic writer deck. It's very basic, and it gives you a knowledge when you start learning the symbology of the cards and what they mean, because some of these other tarot cards, a lot of them are beautiful and pretty, but they kind of change the symbology of it, the meaning kind of what the card is supposed to, it's their interpretation. So you want to get like a real knowledge base of the basic tarot before you start, branching out. But definitely the Rider deck is a good one to start out with. And they're probably $13 with the book.
Okay. I'm going to order it off Amazon because that's where I got these Doreen Virtue cards. Because I normally, I was listening to the caller before me and you were advising her about tarot. She said she doesn't pull them on herself, but I remember reading somewhere or looking at a video on YouTube where it does say at least once a day pull one on yourself just so you can get a start of your day. So I've been doing that with
You can pull 3, or you can pull 5. It all depends on and it's a good idea to do it because you can really, especially this time with all these different energies, and we're kind of like newborns. All of us are like newborns with all these new energies and on everything. It's a whole awakening experience to most of us, and things that we were taught were taboo. We never even thought, 10 years ago, I would have never thought I would be into tarot cards.
Exactly. Me either.
Herbs and crystals, and I would have thought those people were crazy. But now, as the awakening, I use these tools, and these tools are there to help us and to assist us, and they love to help and assist.
Now, let me ask you something about the twin flame energy. I keep on looking at videos, and they talk about the twin flame energy. A lot of it has to do with 2012. Is there any kind of way that you can find out if you have one? And if so, can you find out through the birth chart? Can you find out through a energy reading? How do you find out if you have one or if you will meet one within 2012?
Is that the lady I was telling you, Jacqueline Dubois, her feeling is that your twin energy is your body.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have your spiritual self, and the twin of you that never leaves you is your body. That's her. There's other people that feel that there's a male to every female, a female to every male. You can find that out through tarot cards, a tarot reading. You astral project. You can go right to source and find out. You can ask your spirit guide. You can go to the Akashic records. Next time you astral project, consciously say, I want to go to the Akashic records, or consciously say, I want to speak to my guide. And you can do, and you can find your twin flame. And most people, like I say, we all have the answers inside of us. And I just thought Jacqueline had an interesting take on it. She was like, your twin energy is your body, which was, she was like, your body will never forsake you. It's always there. That's your twin flame. But, there's many different beliefs out there. I kind of... the twin energy, I haven't really personally looked for mine or whatever, but I would say that all the answers are out there. All you have to do is go to the Akashic records, or ask your spirit guide next time, or even when you start learning the cards or the numerology, you can start asking these questions, or even the pendulum. You start asking these questions, and these answers will start coming to you, because that is just that twin flame is a belief that each person has differently. So my belief might be your belief might not be mine, but you will find your answer for yourself within yourself.
Okay, I got you. And it's so true what you're saying. It's so true. Okay.
And I hope you. I haven't been on for a while. My internet and my phone was really acting crazy for a few months, and I'm back. And I hope I hear from you again.
Oh, you will. I'm going to follow you on Blog Talk.
Okay, and come see me on Facebook, Reta Ware at Facebook, and I'm always available. You can ask me a question, email me, or whatever. I'm always available. This is at this time, I feel we all need to give. This is my way of giving back for what all has been given to me. So,
okay, all right, thank you.
Hello, area code 484. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you today?
Good. This is the first time I found your show.
Oh, well, thank you for the first time you found me. I've been off for a couple of months, but I have
okay.
I have like 15 shows and archives if you're interested. So what brings you here today?
Well, I was calling to ask you regarding a love relationship question.
Okay.
Now, I don't know. I mean, are you clairvoyant, clairaudient, or how do you do your readings?
I do my readings. I do my readings with tarot, which I don't have my tarots in front of me. I usually do them with tarots. I do have some psychic feelings and energy. I'm not claiming that I'm this, the next Sylvia Brown or something, no. But I'm very good at my tarot card. When I do tarots, they're pretty on point. If you're interested in having a reading, you can always get a hold of me that way.
Okay.
Because right now I'm not doing readings over the phone. Right? Maybe one day I'll do that. Maybe in a couple of weeks I'll do readings, like not whole readings, but a couple of questions here and there. That would sound like fun. But I don't know if you want to go into it further today, or if you want to email me and let me know, or if there's any other questions you have, or if you really want to talk about this relationship aspect right here.
Right. Yeah, I was calling into the show to see if I could get some any kind of insight or what you're picking up regarding this situation.
How about you email me or contact me on Facebook? I don't know if you want to do this on the air.
Well, I don't have a Facebook page, and I really don't get on my email that much because I only have the internet through my phone, which is not the greatest. That's how I got your show.
Well, something the source pointed you in this show for a reason. So give it to me and let's see what happens.
Okay, sure. Well, basically, I connected with a guy that I grew up with, and we've been dating We've been dating a couple months now, and we kind of had like a little rough patch there in the beginning of August, and I don't know if we broke up or what we did, but he still has my house key, and we still text each other, and everything seems to be okay. And it seems like the other day I was asking him about Halloween, texting him, and I was like, do you want to do this or that? And he goes, I don't know yet. And then I was like, well, do you ever plan on seeing me or no? And he's like, I didn't say that. So I kind of feel like he feels like we're still in the relationship, even though I don't know where we stand, but it seems like the way that he's been communicating with me that we're still a couple and together. And like today I texted him a message because he works a lot of hours, and I was like, listen, guys can be really sneaky. And he was like, why? And I was like, well, this guy that knows that I've been dating Danny basically said, oh, listen, I think you should give me a chance, and I'll keep it all confidential, and I won't tell him, and, you know, you should be dating me. And I texted all this to Danny, and I was like, you know, he asked if we were still dating, and I said yes, and I said he wanted to keep it all confidential, and Danny was like, okay. So if Danny didn't think that we were together, wouldn't he be saying, well, why are you telling people that we're dating?
Well, first of all, you have the answer, and I know you have the answer. I feel that you know the answer. You just don't want to admit to the answer. That's the impression I'm getting right now. The feeling I have is exactly that you know the answer to this, that you're just talking yourself out of this answer. You understand what I'm saying? You're just calling in for this show to get confirmation when you don't need the confirmation. You know it. You know this relationship isn't good.
What do you mean? Like, no, I feel like he feels like we're in a relationship.
No, you know that there is everything he's showing you is showing you that it's not a relationship. You understand what I'm saying? I say what's on my chest, and my chest is saying that he's showing you that you're not his priority, you know, and you're not getting what you need out of this relationship, but you're trying to hold on to this relationship for whatever reason, I don't know. He's showing you. You don't see him. He comes around when it's, convenient to him?
Yeah, but I feel like if he didn't think that we were in a relationship, he would have said today in a text message,
no.
Why didn't you go for this guy?
First of all, people are, you can't look for the answers to the question you need from him. You need to know your own answer. You need to feel within yourself the answer to that question. And no matter what I tell you, which I'm still telling you, and you're still making excuses. You understand what I'm saying? Well, he didn't say this. At this point, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, you know the answer. I feel it. You know the answer. But you are looking for me to say, or somebody else say, oh, no, he's thinking he's in this relationship and this and that. I haven't done a reading right now. I'm not pulling any cards, but the psychic implant that I have is that there's no, you're into it more than he's into it. And I'm sorry.
I understand.
Not to do
I
this.
understand. I understand what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And like I'm saying, you've known the answer before you even called in. You've been known the answer. You just.
But I don't agree with you with what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with what you're saying. This man has a key to my house. If he didn't want to be with me, that damn key would be through my mail slot. That would have been given back to me.
That's your choice. I mean, it's whatever. This is what I'm telling you. Whether you agree or not, that's up to you. And I can't change your mind either or. So what I'm saying is that do what you feel. No matter what I tell you, it's not changing your mind. So do what you feel that you need to do. You understand?
Right.
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
Bye-bye.
Oh, what a day. Well, thank everybody for calling. I'm going to take a quick break. Again, the call-in number is 347-996-5515. Again, 347-996-5515. Give me a call or Skype in, and you're listening to the Astral Traveler with Reta. And I'll see you in a few. Let's see what we're going to listen to since... let's listen some more. Hello, everybody. I'm back. Just needed a quick refresh. Hello, everybody, and you're with the Astral Traveler with me, Reta. I'm happy to be back. The thing about tarots, clairvoyant, any type of reading, astrological reading, any reading that you do on yourself or anybody else, you have to understand that the other person has to be a willing participant, the energy back and forth. If they're not listening or willing to receive that information, then you're just not going to get anywhere. And also, when you do readings on yourself, when you pull your daily cards on your divination, you really have to look at it and really, take heed to what that's one thing about these cards. These cards are ancient. Tarot cards are ancient. They never lie. And there is no ifs, buts about it. It's the truth, 100% truth. And it's up to you to either accept it or don't accept it. And a lot of people, I don't really usually do tarot readings on air, or I don't really do readings on air. Most people, if you want that done, email me or Facebook me or something, because on air, I don't want to go in places that, are too personal on air, or get into things that are way, way too personal, or even open myself energetically. Once I open myself up, it's like I'll get energy from everywhere. We're not in a setting to do that. And you have to be willing to listen to what the person is saying, because no matter what someone is telling you, if you're not going to take heed to it, then there's no point to do it, So that's just one thing. It was funny, on one of my friends' Facebook today, Jane, how are you doing? I think her last name is Everdan. You can find her on Facebook. She does beautiful art. But she had this picture on her profile picture, and it looks like the guy from The Ring, the little one that says, "My precious." I can't think of what his name is. But what was funny, when I seen that picture, it brought me back to an astral projection I just had a few months ago, an experience. And it's weird because one of the writers, I think her name is Rebecca, she talks about the jinn a lot, and she considers this being a jinn. And it was funny because how I met this little person or creature entity was that he was on my back. He was on my back, in my bed, on my back. And I looked up at him and seen his whole face. And it looked like the guy from The Ring, the little precious guy with the medal. And it looked almost exactly like him. And he just came down to give me a kiss in my astral body, and I just recall biting him. But that just took me back today. But it's weird how a lot of the things that you see in the astral plane and the etheric plane, you'll see in real life. So you kind of understand where these directors got these information. And it's like you see, well, these directors are obviously either having these experiences or conducting magic, or it's just so weird because the more you astral project and the more you'll see these different entities. Like, I never even watched the Scream movie, and one of my friends, Reset, how you doing, babe? I was like, what is this being? I described the being to him because I seen this being in the corner of my room looking up at me, and I was looking down at him. And I described him, and he sent me this picture, and I was like, yeah, that's what I seen. And I never seen the movie Scream, but it was that character from Scream with the white, like, bone face and in the hood, and that's what I seen in the corner of my room. And this is like the third time I found something that was in the astral plane that I've seen on TV. And so it kind of makes you think real strong, like, wow, where are these people these people have had some information that we had we're thinking that these guys are geniuses, but really they're pulling things from the other side and just putting it to a script or to a movie screen, and they're not as genius as we once thought they were. That was just my little tidbit. I kind of ran off on a roll there because it made me think of that today. And you'll be surprised of the many different entities that you'll see on the astral plane. And just remember, for all your new callers and the new people that just experiencing the astral plane, that you might see some scary looking things, and things aren't as what they see. There might be some scary looking things, but their energy is sweet. They're not evil in any sort of way. Now you might see some beautiful things that their energy is evil. So everything isn't what it seems to be, and don't be afraid of anything on the astral plane, because you are the powerful one. You are just a mere thought, and they can be gone. Just a mere thought. Your thoughts are weapons. And you got to hold true when you're in the astral plane too, because you don't want to catch any sticky karma. You don't need to hurt these beings. Even though they might try to hurt you, you don't have to hurt them. You don't have to kill them. Whereas some of these beings feel that they have to do that to us. But nothing can hurt you on the astral plane. That's one thing I want to make clear for my new callers and my new listeners, that don't worry, you are more powerful than these beings will ever be. And if it's something that you don't like or you're not enjoying the experience, like I've had a couple of ET experiences that I didn't enjoy. But with the mere thought, you could either be gone or they can be gone. So, don't get so scared. And the more you astral project and you allow yourself to feel these feelings, and the more you're outside your body, the more you become more spiritual, more psychic, and embrace this and use all these tools. And there's so much knowledge. I was just talking to a few people on Skype today about the internet, how beautiful it is, and how there's so much information out there for free. Anything that you need an answer for, you can find 5 or 6 different opinions on the answer that you're looking for. And, there's so much free information out there. And the internet has just made our community so much smaller, where, you might live in the UK, but you're just a click away. It's, you can build these energies with these people and these friendships and this love between people you've never met before. And the internet is this beautiful thing, and I don't think they ever expected that the world, when they started waking up, that we would in tune with each other and contact each other and share amongst each other on the internet. I think this was a big surprise for them, and it kind of blew up in their face. But, hey, at this time, before they try to take that from us, just connect. This is the time of connecting and loving and doing the work, and learning these different things that you might have never been interested in before, but just to learn about them, learn about the different divinations, learn about, magic, and learn about things you would never, ever learn before. I mean, when I first heard of Aleister Crowley, oh my God, I was scared to death of this man. But, now I'm not so scared I'm not scared of him at all. And I kind of see where he went with what he thought in his teachings. And even though he did some crazy things, there was some, like his cards, I think it's strange how his cards, became in my hand, because I was not looking for the toss deck at all, especially by him. But the cards picked me, and those cards are one of the cards that I'm more in sync with than anything. Right now I've been bonding with my writer decks. Now that I'm talking to a lot of different people about tarots and stuff, and riding the path with them, and that's the deck I'm telling people to get, and I've been kind of living with this rider deck for a while. It's been everywhere I've gone. I've took it with me, and it's been underneath my pillow and stuff, and I'm trying to really bond and connect. Even though me and these cards having a connection, there's still not that connection of the toss deck. But since I've been teaching people and telling people about the tarot, I just want to go back to the basic deck. So I'm reorienting myself to the basic deck. So, but there's so many different things out there to even the simple, the pendulum, it works on energy, and that's one of the best tools that we have, and it's pretty doggone accurate. Mine has been, but there's so many things out there, and even start building a little garden outside, growing your herbs, growing your some food, This is my first year gardening, and it's been an eye-opening experience, and I loved it. And there's some things that I've learned from, and I'll know better next year. It was a big growing experience, but just, the energy from them, and these plants basically are living to serve you. And you're like, wow, this living object loves me that much to sacrifice itself for my use and to be in use to me. And that's just a powerful thing, because if you think everything is alive. Humans, we're sometimes, so quick to just think about ourselves, but everything is alive. Even our bodies is a living specimen. There's cells that are alive. There's bacteria. Everything in our body is alive, and each flower, and they all have a spirit. They all have a spirit, and they all have a higher sense to themselves, even your animals. And the more you love, you'll see the more that you love your plants, and the more energy you give your plants, the more that they produce and give to you. And that's just a beautiful thing. And even like the crystals, I'm starting to really get into the crystals thanks to my friends on the French Agenda. I've learned so much from my new friends that I've met, and I've really built some real great friendships. I hope that will last a lifetime. And, maybe not now, but hopefully in the future we'll all get a chance to meet in the real life. And, it's just beautiful, the connections we're meeting with people, even online. And, even me today, me and the owner of Type 1 Radio, hey Sonic, just talked last night, and he was like, well, we really need to do the show again. I'm like, when should I start? He said, tomorrow. So last night I just said, okay, I'm going to start the show again today. And we've had all these callers, and, I've connected with these people I've never even, called before, and never listened. And it's just beautiful how one day I just said, I'm going to restart the show. My internet's back, and I'm just going to restart, and there's people out there. And I want to say thank you. And as I say, this is my little way of giving back, and the energy that we exchange from the callers calling in, from the listeners, and the emails I get, and the little messages. I want to say thank you. And I hope that my little bit, helps somebody in some small way. But it's just been a beautiful thing. And the astral plane has really taught me some things. And lately, they've had me on the astral out, like a timeout. And it was because for those couple of months, I believe my higher self didn't really want. I was really mad as heck, and I haven't been so mad, and so I was really angry, and it was a buildup of a couple of things and a couple of people, and I was downright pissed off. And it took me a while to come out of that, and I'm happy I did, because me being pissed off, Reta, is not fun for me, and it's not fun for me energetically. And, my higher self knew, Reta, this isn't, you can't astral project in these last few months, because you might do something or think something that's, not that great. But, so I'm thankful for that. But like I said, my main goal is to make as many interdimensional warriors as possible, because there is a war going on, and people don't realize it. It's not just this war in Iran. There's a war spiritually going on every day, every moment, every second. There's a spiritual war going on, and we have to attain ourselves spiritually, learn to psychically defend yourself, and be on the offense, not on the defense. You know, you really need to do that. And once more people wake up and really go into themselves and become these interdimensional psychic warriors, then we'll finally see that these powers that were, won't be as powerful, and they won't have that much effect on us. And people say, well, Reta, you can go anywhere, do anything. Why don't you go to the underground bases? And it's so crazy. I could do that, when I astral project, but why do I want to? I always say, why would I want to? I already know what they're doing. I don't need to go see there. That takes me going, seeing what they're doing, that I already have a feeling of what they're doing, is taking me off my path. And that's what these powers that were are trying to do. They're trying to take each one of us off of our path, our spiritual path. And even if we take a little detour, that little detour takes a long time to come back. And look at me, thank God. It took me only a couple of months to come back. And it seemed like once I was in a better state, all of a sudden Verizon was able to fix my phone wires and everything was fine. But at the time when I had all this anger and pissed off and vinegar in me, Verizon couldn't figure out what the problem was with my phone line. And I just find that, kind of, odd. But that's what I try to do. Everybody needs to arm themselves, not only with so-called, guns or whatever. You need to arm yourself psychically. Because once you're on a path, and your frequency and you raising your vibrations, they won't even see you. They can't even catch you. They don't even matter anymore, And every now and then I see myself when I watch the news or something, I get sucked into their propaganda and it pisses me off, and I get all in my, let's go out there and ugh. But then, once I ground myself and realize they're going to do what they're going to do. That's who they are. Behind them, that's what the entities that they are with are. They are not being anything but who they are, and when you're really on your own spiritual path, who they are really doesn't take into consider who you are. You just override them. And I see every day more and more people are waking up. People that I would never thought to have a conversation about astral travel or magic or tarot are actually open to these conversations, whereas like 10 years ago, they would have thought, the devil was into it. So it's strange how in a short amount of time people are waking up. And I feel that humanity and humans are special, and people are like, oh, this and that. But yes, we're all different. We're all humans, but we're all made up of different alien DNAs to make us all different beings. And we're all going to have different paths and different oppositions. And sometimes you're not going to agree with what I say. And I don't expect for everybody to agree with what I say. This is the time where you take whatever I'm saying that resonates with you, you take that with you. What I say that doesn't resonate with you, throw that shit away. Excuse my language, but just throw it away, discard it. Because we are all on our individual paths, and what spirit makes me speak through my mouth, may not resonate with you, and that's fine. But I'm not going to censor myself or, say what's not my truth for anybody, whether, God himself comes down and tells me, no, I have to speak my truth. And as long as I speak my truth, then I know I'm doing all right. And whether that truth hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. This is not what I'm trying to do, is hurt anybody's feelings. But this time, there's only a short amount of time to get this information out and these experiences out and this ability to share out, because time is going by so quick. So what I have to say, a lot of people don't want to hear it. Change the channel, respectfully change the channel. That's fine with me, but I am on my channel going to talk about many different things. I'm going to talk about magic. I'm going to talk about astral projection. I'm going to talk about remote viewing. I'm going to talk about race. I'm going to talk about, things that I'm seeing in the community or around the world. I'm going to talk about hot topics of what's going on in the planet. I might sometimes even talk about politics, which it's funny. 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was really politically active, and now it's so funny that now I have this awakening process. I realized that, politics wasn't what it was. It's kind of like, for me, I'm like, they're going to do what they're going to do. What matters to me is how I react to what they're going to do. That makes us different. How we're going to react, it makes us different from them because they're doing what they're going to have, what they want to do. What they want to do is to control and own us as cattle and as sheep. And what we do is up to us because we're all free beings. And we all made a soul pact to come here at this time. Strangely and crazy as it was, we all agreed to come at this time and participate in the greatest show on earth, as my friend Jay says. This is the greatest show on earth. And I'm happy every day to be a part of it, good, bad, or indifference. And I'm happy to even have this broadcast to talk to, here on Type 1 Radio. And it's just been a beautiful thing. And again, I want to say thank you to you guys. Again, the call-in number is 347-996-5515. Again, 347-996-5515, or either Skype in. I would love to talk to you. Let's see what else we're going to talk about. I want to say, Jay, I missed you, and I hope everything's okay. I heard his computer's on the brink, so hopefully he'll be back soon. Again, you can Facebook me at Reta Ware, RETTAWARE. Twitter, same thing, RETTAWARE. Or you can email me at retaware@gmail.com. We have a caller from 732. Hello, 732.
Hello, Reta. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. It's my birthday, and I'm spending it with you guys. Who am I speaking to?
This is Juan. How are you?
Hi, Juan. How are you?
Long time no speak. I know you had some problems with your phone line, but I just had a call. And
thank you. It was strange for how long my phone line. I mean, they were coming at least once a week, and they were scratching their head like, we don't understand what's wrong. There's nothing wrong with your phone line. And I'm like,
that's so funny.
Because if you guys listen to my last few shows, you can start seeing the process of I couldn't call in, and then
actually, there was some. We had to get our phone line here. We wanted to get faster internet, and the tech people that came out said, "Oh, these lines are so bad, we have to reinstall them." And I don't know what exactly they had to sort of install like high copper wiring, something like that, but here it seems like we have been getting faster internet at least, and the phone line's been okay. But it's so funny that you mentioned that about your phone troubles, because it reminded me about the phone troubles I was having like a few months ago. So go figure.
Yeah, and it's funny because at the time, I'm telling you that one day my show was on that Thursday and I couldn't even call in. I had no thing, but I think it's more of Source telling me, okay, she didn't need a phone, because I was so pissed off. And I was spitting vinegar. And it was funny. It was like 2 hours before the show, and I completely got no phone service anymore or any internet. So
you have to forgive me. I haven't heard the show when it started today. I tuned in a little while ago.
no
and fascinating that you were talking about the tarot, because I've been really wanting to get into that.
Well, you know me. I always share, books or something. So
Yeah, me too.
I'm reading a book right now that's it's pretty good. I'm
What is it?
reading the Tarot Reader's Workbook, a comprehensive guide from beginning to master by Sandy Anastasia. And it's pretty good. So, you know me, I always share. So if I have any information, any books that I can, send your way, I will. But this is one.
Love
And
it.
it's pretty good. So I only give out information that I read myself and looked and said, this is pretty good. How did you like that book on astral projection?
Oh, I loved it. It's one of those books where it's one of those books where you read it and it's simple enough to sort of digest, but then once you digest it, it's like, wait a minute, I have to read that again because I think there's a lot more in there that I think I missed, or a lot more to think about,
And the book is free.
What's that?
Did you know that book is free? Like
yeah,
and
yeah, it's on Google. It's on Google Books.
Yes, and it's free, and it's like, wow, this information was out there free, and nobody really knew, not too many people knew it was free. And it was the I just want, because I know you love to read, so I was interested. What part did you find interesting in that book?
You know what? Whenever I hear about astral projection, it's the idea that there is another world and that there are people or entities or just an extension of ourselves, whatever you want to call it, in that world. So, in that book, I think it was Ledbetter or Leadbeater, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, he talks about that. And I don't know if he was connected with Theosophy at all, but, you're talking about how these books are free. If you just go to Google Books, right, and you start off with that book, or you start off, because they have, I've been reading Isis Unveiled for like the past couple of months, on and off. And, Madame Blavatsky wrote that. And that's on there free too, both volumes. And you can find just by reading those books alone, and you make a note of the books that she references, and there are a lot. You go to Google Books and you type in the name of the books, and they'll come up free. And oftentimes they'll come up because I don't know how. I mean, Google, multi-billion trillion dollar corporation. They I don't know how they do it. Well, maybe I do, but never mind. They have like endless pockets, and they've scanned all these books from all these different libraries, including. I mean, have you noticed that they scan books that go back to like the 1500s, so you can go to Google Books and look at?
Yeah, and some of those books are so honest and so great because they were back then. It was just awesome because at that time spiritualism was on the high. That's when people were getting back into it. And those old books, and that book that C.W. Beater, I can't even think of what it is. I'm going to have to next week find out. I can't even think, but you know what book I told you.
Oh, yeah, I do.
And it was so good, and it was written for anybody to understand, and that's my main point. That's why I have this show. Is I want to talk to people in a language that they can understand. I don't want to sit here and use these big words. I can use these big words like Kundalini and all this stuff, but some people get mixed. They're so worried about this word and trying to achieve that word instead of getting that feeling.
But you know what I learned though, like from reading older books, like really older books, like stuff from like the 1800s and 1700s or stuff like that, is you get a better grasp of the English language. I learned because I was really into researching like all this conspiracies and magic and all this for the past couple of years, and I came upon somebody said that after during the First World War, after 1917 or something like that, you just really can't trust encyclopedias or books or anything because they're controlled.
Yeah, it's history.
Well, if you go back and you read like the older books, it's astonishing how frank they can be. And I wanted to say too, one of the things that sort of popped up for me recently, and I figured, hey, this is worth sharing, is that I was reading a part in Isis Unveiled. And Blavatsky talks about, she really sort of railed against the whole scientific establishment, sort of just being so condescending and not accepting or not viewing the spiritual phenomenon as real.
Mm-hmm.
And what I started to wonder, like, where did this attitude that has been so prevalent, at least in the past 50 years, where it's like if you talk about certain subjects, you're sort of on the fringe, or you're crazy, or should be sent to an institution or something.
Yeah, and what was that back in the beginning of times, with as far back as we can see on this earth, that they like the Egyptians, where we have evidence, their science was not only it was called metaphysics. It was everything.
Yeah,
Science,
yeah.
and we're getting back into it, but I think what was part of his story was that was the ability to control, is to divide all this stuff. And like I was saying to the one girl, even in my culture, and I believe you're Spanish too, Juan, right?
Yep,
even
yep.
everything that was tarot back then, it was like, no, that's the devil, especially with a lot of Catholics. Everything that was straightforward with what the Catholics said was considered devil worshiping or Satan or anything. And they had us so scared that we weren't able to place all the stuff together. And that's one of the injustices they did with the melanated people of the planet. And I get into controversy stuff. Oh, here we go. But they took our original metaphysics from us, because we all came from metaphysics, where they took it from us, the indigenous people, and forced us on this Christian religion. And they did a good job, because not just the Spanish and the people of color, they will go down with that book.
Oh, yeah.
More than any other. And it's sad to say, I have many different races in me, but they did such a good job on the indigenous people in this Christianity that they bought it so hook, line, and sinker that a lot of them they can't deviate. They did such a good job on us. They really did.
I gotta tell you, I mean, you know who actually helped me kind of get that was Santos Bonacci.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you watch any of his lectures, but he really brings you see like his earlier stuff. I don't know about his latest work. I haven't seen it, but I know in his earlier work he would just have stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of books, and he'd just open a book and you'd read a passage, and the book, was, and the words were from some astrologer or scientist from, 2nd century BC or something, and no, it's from what I comprehend, it's true that these things were all united, these different sciences, different aspects.
Yeah,
and
separated it.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you have to wonder why. Like, why were they separated to begin with? If they were so fantastic at the start, and you see all these glowing words from many different people, it seems, how come now they're all separated?
That's why, because they knew how wonderful it was, and if they it would continue to be together, then they weren't able to control us the way they were, and the world wouldn't be where it is. If you think about it, we wouldn't be tearing down all our rainforests and killing all the indigenous people around the planet, and all these wars and these people that are starving. When so much food, there's so much food, and it cracks me up that they're saying there isn't. There's so much food. The grocery store throws away food.
Yeah.
If it was all together and we realized that nature and spirit was one and the same, and science was one and the same, the world would not be where it is now, and we wouldn't, as people, be in such a mess we are in now. We would be more look at it. Even it's a little bit of time that we've all awakened in. How much we've changed.
That's true. That's true. I really had to make decisions in my life, and it's it's stuff that you live with, but also once you really I think it's an earnest quest to find out what's going on. It's like that quote in the Bible, ask and you shall receive, and I think it's true. I think it's very true.
And that's why I always tell, ask what you shall see, and you have the answer inside of you. Whether or not you receive that answer, you have that answer inside of you. And we are all these powerful magnificent beings. Did you write me and say you started to astral project?
Actually, no. I around that time, I think I messaged you saying that I meditated and I wanted to astral project. And I remember that while my eyes were closed, I started to spin around, around my center. I started to spin around and around and around and around. And that was crazy enough. And I was like, okay, not that I don't want to do it again, but I remember messaging you. Do you remember that when I messaged you about that?
Yeah, but you know that you were on your way. You should.
I was. Yeah.
You should have just said, let's go with it. And you'd be surprised. Like I said, that one night when I really woke myself up is before I went to bed, I said I wanted to know the truth. And Lord, be careful what you ask for, because I had some experiences. I'm telling you, a year, even 3 years ago, if you would have told me I would have been outside in my backyard with the goddamn garden and I was gardening, I would have said you were crazy. I was one of these prim and proper women with her nails done every week, and now I'm out there playing in the garden. I'm like making bread from scratch. I'm freaking drying my own herbs and making my own tinctures, and I'm learning, because I think tarot, you can be doing tarot for 20 years, and it's always a learning process, because the tarot book is life, and life is the tarot.
I really loved what you said before, too. It's funny, because I tuned in, and you were talking about the tarot, and I was thinking, I know she does tarot, and you were talking about how you were using, I think was it the Crowley deck? Mm-hmm. And it was just something that you were vibing with. You were really learning to get along with it, and it chooses you. I love that.
I would have never chose the Crowley deck. Everything I learned about this man, I had wanted no parts of the Crowley deck. And I went to the spirit shop, and I said to the guy, I'm like, I'm looking for a tarot. I'm looking for, a tarot deck. And before I knew it, this guy was handing me the cards. And
already.
I grabbed the card. It was buzzing. So the vibration was so strong that the guy who was handing me the card and me at the same time said, oh, shit. That's exactly what I said. Oh, shit. Because it buzzed. He felt it, and I felt it, and I was looking, and I didn't even know what card it was. I looked, I said, I didn't want these dang on cards. It was funny how it was a talk deck, and that deck, I had to put, that's like my right-hand deck, but right now, as more people are, talking to me about the tarot, and more people are wanting to learn, it's like I'm going back to school with you guys. So I'm relearning the rider deck, which I tell everybody to start out with the rider deck, because that's where the symbolism, the talk deck is excellent, but it gets into the Kabbalah and all that. So, but for beginners, for people who want to learn, get the rider deck, and it doesn't have to be your deck forever, and you can still go to the store. And I'm telling you, if you ask before you see spirit, guide me to a deck of cards. Believe me, they're going to guide you to a deck of cards like they did me, and it was kind of fun. But as with a lot of people that have been emailing me, and I've been talking, and I've been doing readings for people and stuff, and I said, well, some of the people I'm teaching the tarot, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to school with you guys. So I'm also relearning this deck myself. So I suggest you come along and you learn too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
learning every day, honey. Learning every day.
And you'll be surprised. The tarot deck does not lie. It tells you the truth, and you'll start seeing how, like, even Freeman used to say how his life was like a tarot.
Oh, true. I remember that very well. Very well.
Your life is based on tarot, and tarot is on your life. It's so strange how us lay people had no idea of all these mysticism out there, and everything that was hidden from us, and we weren't able to access, and how magical the process really, really is. And once you get into the tarot, you sometimes you get addicted. You gotta watch it because the tarot, you become like you can get addicted to the tarot.
You know what's great, Reta? It's like in this life, I'm listening to you, and you mentioned like the mysteries, and so you follow one mystery. You just follow one mystery, and then you realize there's so many more. And that's a wonderful thing. It's so beautiful.
It is, and it's a never. Yeah. It's like there's always something new to learn.
It's true.
What you learn, you hear another person saying it, and you learn it a different way. It hits you, and each time as you grow, the same thing hits you a different way. And I think it's beautiful. And that lady, I don't know if you heard, but this, if you ever have time on YouTube, there's this witch. She's such a beautiful being, and her name is Jacqueline Dubois, and her YouTube page is the number 1 Moon Mother, and her videos. She's so lovely, and she goes into depths, and she talks about different herbs and how to create in her garden, and she talks about the different gods and goddesses, and she talks about tarot. And I connected when I was in a kind of not in a good place, and I happened on her YouTube channel, and she's changed me in so many different ways. Even things that I already knew, I looked at it differently. And I've mentioned her quite a few today, but it was beautiful, and she's one of those beautiful souls out there that have so much information to give, and she's an elder, and she's giving out this information freely. And when someone who has that energy, that source energy around her, you can just feel it, and she's this information freely from herself. People really need to take heed, and when I see people like that, I want to share and have other people experience it too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Juan, and I missed you guys. I missed everybody, and I'm glad to be back. And I'm glad today. I didn't even think I was going to have anybody at all, because just last night, me and Sonic said, okay, we're going to start the show again tomorrow. And I didn't think I was going to have any callers, and we've had a lot of callers today. I didn't think anybody, I thought it was just going to be me and my birthday party, a solo. So I thank you for calling. And Juan, I will, on Facebook, give me your email, and I'll email you a couple of books.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I will do.
All right, babe. Thank you.
My call.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Bye. Bye-bye. Ooh, I had a caller. I think I accidentally hung up on somebody. Oh, I'm getting new to this center, so if you were from 732, please call back. We got 16 minutes of the show. Please call back. I didn't mean to cut you off at, I think it was area code 732. Like I said, I didn't even expect anybody to call. I called today or, even be online. Last night, me and Sonic were like, okay, we're going to restart it tomorrow. And this is the beautiful thing. And I feel so much love out there, and I hope you guys, even through some of my rants sometimes, just know it comes from a place of love. And it's okay to disagree. It's okay to disagree. We're all here on different missions. We're not all here on the same mission. We're all here on different missions, and that's something to know. Okay, we got another caller. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm getting Karen in the desert, so I don't know. How are you today?
Well, it's been an interesting week. I got laid off from my job, which means that opens doors to do what I'm supposed to be doing. And every time I say something important, I see 3 numbers in a row. So it's been that kind of day.
Let me tell you, before I got injured, I worked. And I hurt my back. And even though my back is horrible, this time I've woken up And I'm like, wow, it took me to hurt my back to really wake up. Because I worked so much, I never had the time or to even, I wouldn't even give any of this information a chance because I was always working. And it's weird how Source does things, Spirit does things in your life to bring you back.
And to open doors. I mean, I knew that I was going to go this direction. I thought it would take a couple, 3 more months, but to my surprise, I didn't have to kind of ease them out of me being there. They eased me out. So, it's a blessing. And even though it was kind of done in a negative way, as my friend calls them, they're noble friends that help you move along your path, even though it might not look like that on the surface.
Mhm. And you can also, I had to learn the hard way. You can also say help. You can at one time just say help, and you'll be surprised the help that comes to you.
Yes.
So what are you going to do at this time?
Well, it's been the last 2 or 3 months that I've come to recognize that I have shamanistic tendencies, and that's really my calling. I didn't know what it was. I just knew what it was, but I didn't have a label for it. And I have a very magical place that I own property-wise in the desert. And it's kind of like a metaphysical Disneyland. And I know my calling is to bring people there for experiences. I mean, you come there, you will have whatever experience you need to have.
Wow.
So that is really what I'm called to do. I think I'm going to have an income source from something totally unrelated. So because I've never felt like, charging people for stuff, which is very shamanic,
But remember too, you have to remember it's an energy exchange. So
there will be that, but I'm not feeling like it's that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've done that before, and I do other work that is, tangible for tangible as well. But it just opens up the doors for me, and I'm looking forward to more of my own adventures on this place. And
well, you got to keep us updated where it's at when it's opening, because I would like to learn these places. I wish I had the passable income where I can go. Oh my God, I can't wait. Hopefully, Source and Spirit will direct me in a way where I can just travel and see all these wonderful things that are going on. Hopefully, one day it will come through, but you got to let us know. And so how can people know when you start opening in this place? And
it will be, I think it'll happen in the next 2 to 3 months. And I've already taken people there. A lot of people that are very sensitive to energies, it draws them to them, and they ask if they can go, and so I meet them there. And I've done that even while I was working.
Wow.
And that's going to continue. I don't think it's started already, but people know when they're supposed to go there and have an experience. And one person I took there who is very connected with star people,
mm-hmm.
he was just pretty much overwhelmed with the energy. He got so much information, he couldn't even talk about it. But we also went out and just spent the night in reclining outdoor chase lounge chairs looking at the stars, and he had night vision binoculars, and I saw, and I'd never seen this before, 16 craft along the horizon with those binoculars. They weren't towers, they weren't stars, they weren't, anything but other things in the sky. And he has a tendency to call that kind of thing in. So it was pretty amazing. So I think it's an adventure for whatever you want. I've had missing time out there, so I know I've done some adventures that I don't even remember what I did.
Wow. This sounds like, is this place in like Nevada or Arizona or New Mexico?
Actually in Utah in the Four Corners area.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a pretty magical place, and lots of energy there, and lots of things to learn and to experience. And what I think it really is it's like when my friend David experienced it, he's very sensitive, and he was just overwhelmed with information. It's like I thought, this history, and it's on a fault line, so this geology is like Jurassic era geology that's showing.
Mhm.
It's very ancient. It has a very ancient energy about it as well. But I really think it's like a metaphysical library, maybe like the Library of Alexandria, except it exists on a metaphysical plane for those who visit, and they'll be able to kind of browse the library for what they need.
How does anybody get in contact with you?
My contact information would be, I'm a life coach as well, and so my website is www.Karen, Karen, Kinsey, KINSEY.com. And so they can contact me through there, or my email is coachkarenkinsey@gmail.com. And people feel led. I will meet them there, and there will be some sort of energy exchange, but it won't necessarily be, charging for it just really doesn't sit with me.
Mhm.
It's really, let's let Spirit figure that part out, what's really good. And it might be just spreading the word more at this point in time for those people who visit. I'm asking one thing of people that go there is that they write down what the experience was like for them, so I can catalog that.
Wow, that's interesting. So you're trying. It's like a book. It's kind of like a dream book, but it's on a physical about everybody's experience.
Right.
Interesting just to see how each person is understanding the place and feeling the energies, what it means to them. That would be interesting.
Yes, it'll be different for everyone, just like you just said. Everyone's here with a different purpose, and so our messages obviously are different. And
some people, and it really ticks me off in our metaphysical field. They feel that it's their way. You're supposed to go their way, and if you don't go their way, then you're on the wrong path. And just because that way works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for me or anybody else. We're all on different.
Yeah, that's ego talking.
Yeah, it's supposed to be from people that they believe they're so above ego, but that's all they all are, ego.
Yeah. Oh, I've certainly experienced that. I mean, I am the teacher. You need to hear my teaching. You need to sit under my guidance. And I was just thinking, in fact, in the last 24 hours, that if it's one size fits all, I would run the other direction.
I mean, we're all magical beings. We're all God. We're all God inside each one of us, and we're all creator gods, and we create our own image. So what resonates with me might not resonate with somebody else, and that's my whole thing on this channel on this day on Thursday night. It's everybody. There's not one good, one bad. It's a place where we can all talk. We might not all agree. You might not even like some of the things I have to say, but this is a channel where all opinions matter. And, I'll give everybody their chance to say whatever they need to say.
I have had like another, on a different station, and as well as here on Blog Talk, a radio show. And my joy comes in having people tell their stories, because everyone's story for them is totally authentic, totally real. And it's just like, if you think about multi-dimensional aspects of the universe, who's to say just because we're all looking here like we're all 3D, that we are all living on the same channel? I don't believe we are.
No.
At all. So.
And then we're all not made up of the same alien DNA. We're all got different, we got a little touch of this, maybe more of this. We all have different DNA within, and when our parents made it, that adds more DNA. So none of our DNA is, all that junk DNA, none of that's the same that they call junk. It's not the same. So each one of us are not the same.
I've often wondered how many different races we truly represent. And I think about different people's prejudices, whether it's skin color, weight, you name it, whatever it might be. It's like we're probably not even cut from the same cloth.
And that's what's funny is because I was having that conversation with myself today, and some people don't. I was talking about, I can't even ask my son, he's upstairs, but I was talking about this letter that this slave master wrote back in slave. I can't even think of his name. He said he can guarantee a slave for 200 years, and it's the gene. It was the imprint that was put on the DNA of those Africans at that time. Is still in the DNA to this day, because you can have a physical trauma experience, and that can change your DNA within yourself. And then at the same time is, why do we have these hatreds towards different things? I think it goes way beyond just this plane. I think it goes from way back from the different aliens that we are, that we have this inner conflict with race and color and sexuality and all this. It goes back to these individual, DNA we have. It's been in us. It's been pre-programmed in us from long ago.
I totally agree. And, I think about that because I've been around people who understand that we are from alien seed, so to speak. And then I watch ego take over, which is like kind of the trumping force, if you allow it to be. I watch them fight over which is the more supreme of alien, genetics, and I'm like, oh my goodness,
And when you come down to it, does it really even matter? It really doesn't. That's the crazy thing. But thank you, Karen, for calling. We're at the end of the 2 hours. It went by so quick. And I hope you call in next week or sometime in the future and tell us how things are going in Utah. I really enjoy talking to you.
I can tell you a few stories of things that have happened, and I think it'll inspire. I think anytime people can tell their story, whether it's me or another person or yourself, it just brings things further along. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, and call, and I would love to hear. That's the whole point. I love to hear everybody's different takes and their own stories and their own passages and their pathways that each one of them took. And I thank you for calling. Everybody, that was the Astral Travel. Thank you all for calling in. It was a beautiful show today. New listeners, and like I said, we just said last time we're going to restart the show, and I'm so happy that I was able to touch you, and you guys came in and touched me, and hopefully we touched a whole lot of people out there. Thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you next week, next Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come in, call in with your stories. I love to hear it, and even call in with your opinions. Love to hear them too. So thank you. And you guys have a good night. And it was my birthday, and thank you for coming in and saying happy birthday to me. Good night, everybody.